Hello, I'm Peace Emmanuel from Zenith University. Keep watching XLive, the mouthpiece for the youth.
Hi, my name is Steven Meyer from Radford University College. Keep watching XLive, the mouthpiece for the youth.
Hello, my name is Harriet, a student of the University of Ghana. Keep watching XLive, the mouthpiece for the youth.
Hello, my name is Mia Zubaini from University of Professional Studies. Keep watching XLive, the mouthpiece for the youth.
Yes, it's your boy CEOExtraordinaire, and you are now tuned into XLive, the mouthpiece for the youth, because you know they're spreading the best message for the world. Let's go.
My name is Basil Anthony, aka the CEO Extraordinaire. Keep watching XLive right here on your favorite TV station. When you refer to me, you're talking about a young man who's very energetic, who's very ambitious, who has expertise in information technology, entertainment, social media, and I believe a person who serves as motivation for the youth, and also apart from motivation, inspiration for a lot of them to have the zeal to start up businesses that people probably don't believe they could. I did my primary and JSS, those days was JSS, in Northridge Lyceum, located in Northridge. Then I moved on to Achimota Secondary School, which was 3 years, SS1 to SS3. I believe I did general science. I was in science 3. Yes, biology, physics, chemistry, and elective maths. After that, I moved on to the UK, where I worked a bit, but I also did IT courses in Highbury College, and then moved back to Ghana and started working. I like to call myself fully Ghanaian, but my color will give me away, so I'm a mixed breed. My dad is from Cyprus, and my mother is a Ghana from Jamestown. So I was born in Jamestown, you know, so I am a Ghana. I'm just not a Ghanaian, I'm Ghana. Entrepreneurship from my angle is more or less identifying a business opportunity wherever I find myself. For example, if I find myself among people and they're discussing maybe a problem that they need to solve, but it's a hindrance in their business or whichever circle they're in, immediately a light bulb comes into my brain and says, okay, what if I can provide this for them and I could solve this problem for them? But then again, there's an exclamation mark somewhere in my brain that says, is it profitable? You know, because entrepreneurship just doesn't mean that when you have an idea and you identify a problem, you should just jump on it. It's more or less, before you jump on it, you need to forecast, you need to project, you need to make sure it's worth your time and it's worth your investment and energy you put into it. The first company I incorporated was Silky IT Production. This was way back in 2006. Initially, we started with graphic designing, printing and website creation, because some of the IT courses I did in the UK encompassed graphic design and website creation. And I was an employee at Top Industries, and I started Silky IT because at that point I wasn't quite sure if I could go on my own yet, because I wanted to balance working for somebody and doing my own business at the same time. So yes, it started with me doubling up and working for someone, whilst my marketing people were coming to see me at my old employer's office. So that's how Silky IT started. From then onwards, probably after 6 months, almost a year, I gathered the courage to go solo now on my own and quit my job. You know, I was even offered more money where I was working, more than even my company then was making, but I said no. I wanted to be on my own. I wanted to be my own boss. I started Silky IT Production in my house. Luckily for me, I have quite a big space, so I was able to separate a part of it and start my company there, recruit a few web developers, recruit good marketing personnel, and from then onwards we moved year after year till finally we got an office space in Labadi on the Trade Fair Road, where that was our first time moving into our own an office space, which wasn't partially residential. And then luckily for us, God being so good, business moved on and on. Over the years, you know, I've always believed IT is very dynamic and it keeps changing, it keeps evolving. So somewhere along the line, we cut out graphic designing and printing. Although website creation has a bit of graphic design within it, we didn't offer the service graphic designing again. And so now the services Silky IT provides to the general public is domain name and web hosting, website creation, bulk SMS, and digital marketing, which is actually the newest thing when it comes to advertising online in Ghana now. Being in Ghana, I could mention 1,000 and 1,000 and 1,000 of challenges. But first thing that comes to mind is always recruiting loyal personnel. You know, it's a very difficult challenge for most employers, getting the right people who will be truthful and who will be loyal to the business. Second challenge I always come to mind is clients who don't pay us money on time. You know, when you start business, you're always energetic, looking for clients. They promise to pay you, maybe they pay you a part of it, they are looking for the rest of your payments. It becomes a challenge, it becomes a hassle. Eventually, some never even pay you, and your accountant will tell you to write it off as a bad debt. Some can never even be found, some have moved. So yeah, that becomes another challenge as well. I mean, now in our present state, obviously, the current electricity situation is a big challenge because you need to run on generator, which obviously increases our operational costs. But then again, as business people, we manage to how would I put it? If one aspect of our expenditure is going up, then we need to stay in business. We are going to make sure other aspects do come down and sacrifice. So we are making sacrifices just so that we can stay afloat in business today. Well, first of all, reason why I decided to do business in Ghana was that I was born and bred in Ghana, meaning that very simple. I know people in Ghana, my family is in Ghana, and my network is in Ghana. So common sense tells me that Ghana is the first place to start my business because it should be easier for me. Second thing is that it didn't cost me that much. I don't think my initial investment to start my company even cost 1,000 cedis back in those days, you know, because I had a car already, and like I said, I started a business while I was working for someone else, and when I did resign, I then moved into my own place to continue business in the beginning. So I would say these factors made me, I've never even considered doing business, opening a business outside the country yet. Maybe in the near future I might, but currently no. We've been in business for 9 years. When you're doing business and you've been in this long and you're not making profit, then you need to evaluate yourself. Either you need to change what you do or quit. So yes, we are not making as much money as I wish we would, you know, but we are making a profit and we are paying our taxes on the profits.
Education is a very vital role to play in the development of any country.
And teamwork makes the dream work.
Our aim is to create ideas that greatly benefit the African people.
And backed by the innovation and the involvement of the youth.
Commending the Youth Bridge Foundation for opening this forum and allowing a stage for young people to be seen and to be heard.
All my peeps are constantly stamp your feet and clap your hands. If you feel it, raise your hand. This one's from the motherland.
Yes, it's your boy CEOExtraordinaire, and you are now tuning into XLive, the mouthpiece for the youth, because you know they're spreading the best message for the world. Let's go.
I would not say I was born with a silver spoon. Far from that. Don't let the looks deceive you at all. Like I told you initially, I was born in Jamestown, and we moved to Kaneshie, I believe when I was 6 years. Yes, I went to Northwood Lyceum. It was a very good school, but it wasn't easy for my mother because my mother was a single parent, which we heard from my father seldomly, once in a while, you know. So it was a big struggle for my mother to get me through, but yes, with God, everything is possible. And the first time I met my dad, I was 5 years. Then I met him again when I think I was 10 or 11. I've seen him a couple of times, but I don't think I've seen him so many times as most people have seen their dad, or I've spoken to him so many times. He was more or less a person that I knew that when I was growing up, is when we need help, we need to call, and it was very difficult to reach him. And we would hear from him. I wouldn't say we don't hear from him, but not as often as you might imagine. Sometimes once a year, sometimes more than once a year, sometimes not at all in a year. So it wasn't a very great when it comes to father-son relationship, as you might think. But it's never been a problem for me because my mother has always been there with me. So. And yeah, God has always been there, so it's been challenging, but at every step of the journey, you don't look behind you, you look at what is in front of you, so I keep moving forward. I would say, we didn't have it all growing up, and being in a school or being around people that assume that because of your color, you should have it all, and you see your mates and your friends having what you can't have. As a child, it can be a little bit depressing because you are assumed as somebody who must have, but you don't have. So if you're not a very strong person, and I know a lot of people like me who grew up single-parented, mixed race, somehow, some way, I'll use the word, went a bit wayward because they peer pressure, they followed people, hoping that they could. I don't know if it was a way for them to feel like they were being accepted, or because they didn't feel accepted. It's a very confusing upbringing when you don't have a parent who guides you very well, especially when you're not sure who you are. Are you Ghanaian? Well, I would say my entrepreneurship aspect of my life started in secondary school, when I've always been eager to make my own money. I've never wanted to depend on anybody. I hate owing people money, and I hate having to ask for help. If I don't have, I don't have. I wouldn't, if today there's no money, then I wouldn't reach for something I can't reach just so I borrow money. No, I'm not that type of person. So in secondary school, I remember I started printing t-shirts, printing certificates for clubs, just to make some money. And then yes, after secondary school, the first thing that came to my mind was, hey, go outside and work, because that was the norm. If you go to the UK, you work small, you make some small money. So it's always been my zeal to make money. Some people have big dreams. I know some people, when you ask them, they'll tell you, oh, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a pharmacist. I've just wanted to be a comfortable person, legally, not illegally. So it's just always been do the right thing to make something for myself that I wouldn't be dependent on someone. That's been my motivation in life. Ticketghana, initially, we started it in 2009 with the main aim of creating an avenue for event organizers to sell tickets easily to the general public who wanted to buy tickets, saving them cost, obviously, and obviously making them more money, because then we could maximize their ticket sales initially. But over time, immediately started, we created a website, which was e-commerce, and people could book and buy tickets online. But over time, like I've always said, and how I've done business, I identify what is happening and what is trending, and that model didn't look very viable. So we had to move more into the physical aspect of distributing the tickets in the shops for the clients and we moved away from more of electronic ticketing and came towards printing physical tickets for clients, and then providing them event wristbands at their event gates to monitor in and out of customers on their events. Well, like I said earlier, the initial idea was just to bridge that gap, whereby I had to sit in my house, and if I wanted to buy a ticket to a concert, I had to drive all the way to Kuala or Mark Smart, and maybe I lived in Tema, or I live in Spintex, and then I could sit behind, instead of doing that, I could sit behind my laptop, book the tickets, pay for it online, and then print the electronic ticket or have it delivered on my phone and get to the event gate and have it verified. So save time, save cost, and maximize ticket sales for the event organizer as well. The concept of e-commerce is still a question mark on it because of electronic payments. At that time, there was virtually zero Ghanaian online payment processing companies. Now I've heard of a couple, and along the years there's mobile money and all of that. But mobile money is still not a live e-commerce payment. I would call it an offline payment method. So that was basically the challenge at that time, because how do you get people to pay for the ticket online? It was virtually impossible when we started it in 2009, and that's why we kind of shifted away from the e-commerce. I mean, another challenge was that how many people do have electronic payment options like Visa cards and MasterCards at that time. Now it's growing. Now most of the banks have introduced Visa and MasterCard and what have you. So now it's picking up, but there's still a lot of room for improvement when it comes to electronic payments and e-commerce. So that is why we put that aspect of event ticketing on hold and then moved into the physical aspect of printing the tickets and distributing them in the shops. Yes. Ticketghana, I remember the first ever concert we ticketed was the Rick Ross concert. I believe that was in 2009, which was actually, I would say, our breakthrough into the Ghanaian entertainment scene. Next biggest one was the Movado concert 2011 at the Accra Sports Stadium, which was powered by Fantasy and Samini Music. We've worked with a lot of people. We've ticketed the La Williams Christmas concerts. We've ticketed a lot of the Miss Tourism pageants. We've done a lot of other beauty pageants here and there. I can't remember all their names right now, but most of them, yes. And apart from that, you know, the event business in Ghana is not as frequent as it should be. So we, as a company, also decided to develop our own event concepts so that we could use our own services for our own selves. Yeah. So we developed the Ghana Summer Beach Rave, which this year will be the fourth edition. We've done the Fiesta Club Tour for Fiesta Condoms, I believe was in 2013. And 12 nightclubs, 3 cities and 3 regions, yes. As much as Silky IT seems very technology based and Ticketghana seems very entertainment based and party friendly, Ticketghana still has a IT backbone to it. Don't forget, most of our events promotion is done via social media, which is still technology. We use Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, BBM, WhatsApp, what have you. We still print tickets. We still design them. You know, so our graphic and printing aspect has been beneficial when it comes to ticketing now, because now we develop and print our own secured tickets. We use UV security to protect our tickets, and we print them ourselves. So it hasn't been very difficult merging the two. Don't forget, bulk SMS is also a medium we use in advertising our events. It comes from our IT backbone. So as much as Ticketghana might look very entertaining and party friendly, it still has a technology backbone to its services. Music artists. Stoneboy is my favorite. He's a very good friend too. You know, VVIP, obviously. Reggie Rockstone has always been my favorite, not just because I've worked with him before, but before I got to know him, he was my favorite musician, and now obviously he's part of VVIP. So I'll say Stoneboy, VVIP. Yes, those should be my 2 top Ghanaian artists. If you don't find me at the poolside, usually in the evenings at Bema Camp, okay, it's more likely you might, because of my entertainment aspect, I need to mingle. So yes, you will find me once in a while at a pub, at a lounge, maybe in a nightclub. Not very often, but yes, you will. But yeah, I like to go out a lot because I like to watch movies a lot, too, series, you know, but when you are done with all the movies and series, you can't be in your house all day. So yes, I like to step out a lot. Yeah. I have 2 favorite foods. I can never choose one, depending on my day, or 3. I can't pick one. It's either fufu and rice soup, okay? It's either jollof and chicken, or it's either rice and contomere stew. I don't have a favorite among the 3. If you want to invite me to lunch or dinner, make sure one of those 3 is on the menu. If you're a young person out there wanting to strive in a business opportunity and begin something, I've always believed to delve in a business that you have some form of idea about. Let me break it down a bit. Just because someone says selling cars makes money and you have no clue about cars, I would not advise someone to get into business that they don't have an idea, or they don't have a little grip about. You know, I've always believed that yes, you cannot know everything, but there's always some foundation that will help you to know something about some sort of business. So don't just hurriedly rush into business because they say it's good. Make sure you have some knowledge about it so that you don't get cheated in the long run, and you obviously you know how to make money from it. And just because everybody says ambition is good, yes, jumping off a cliff is ambitious, but when you jump, you fall. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't mean that you must think everything you do is right. You must listen to people. I've always believed in listening to older people. It's been a part of me. When I was young, I was told, listen. I was very stubborn. But losing my mother in the process and losing my father made me realize that, you know, everything these people used to say to me and my uncles used to tell me, there's some sense in it, and they've experienced this, and like they say, experience is the best teacher. I've always believed that whatever you do, you must do and do it well, no matter how small or big it might seem to you. You never know who is standing afar and watching you, who might see some potential in what you do, and might actually even be the angle opportunity that you might need to break through. So do what you do it well, focus on what you do, and just keep doing it. Good work always pays. It's not possible that good work doesn't pay. So it might not seem to be paying now, but it will pay eventually. So just keep doing it, and the doors will open for you. And pray. You know, prayer is also a key essential part in all the processes. So don't forget to always say a prayer and ask God to intervene with it.
Hello, I'm Peace Emmanuel from Zenith University. Keep watching XLive, the mouthpiece for the youth.
Hi, my name is Steven Meyer from Radford University College. Keep watching XLive, the mouthpiece for the youth.
Hello, my name is Harriet, a student of the University of Ghana. Keep watching XLive, the mouthpiece for the youth.
Hello, my name is Mia Jubaini from University of Professional Studies. Keep watching XLive, the mouthpiece for the youth.
Yes, it's your boy CEOExtraO, and you are now tuned into XLive, the mouthpiece for the youth, because you know they're spreading the best message for the world. Let's go.